Hi, and welcome back to SOS Stories of Survivors. I'm your host, Serina Dansker, and I'm so excited for our guest today. Today, we are going to meet a radiant, beautiful soul, Luzk, who's going to tell you all about herself.
Hello, hello, hola, hola. Thank you so much, Serena, for having me here. This is so awesome.
Tell us about what you do.
So, I'm a life coach and transformational speaker, and just inspiring others to shine with their own light.
That's amazing. I am so excited to hear your story, and I know our listeners are too. Can you talk a little bit about um, who you are? Before we talk about who you are now, take us back to when you were a child growing up, where that was, and um, before you lost your parents, and all of that.
Perfect. Awesome. So, I am original from Colombia. So, I was born in a small town called Sevilla Valle. So, a lot of people confuse the city with, oh, you are Sevilla from Spain. No, it's from Colombia. I was born there and I was with my parents and they got divorced when I was very young. So that was really hurtful for me. I was like, obviously, daddy's girl. So, and I stayed with my mom. And growing up, it was like a little bit challenging at the same time. Before I losing my parents, I was very strong, very determined. I was like, I'm gonna conquer the world. So when I was 18 years old, I moved from Colombia to United States to be living the American dream.
By yourself?
Yes, well, my sister, my older sister, she was living here, but I came here by yes to be living with her for a few.
Wow. So you left Colombia, you're 18 years old, nobody but your sister, and you come here. So what was that like? Did you speak English?
So I did have some idea of English. Yes, I did took some classes in Colombia and it was easier for me to understand it. So speaking it was like the hard part. Like for me, reading it and writing it was very easy. And I was like so full of like dreams. I was studying nursing back in Colombia and that was my dream to continue my career here.
Wow, that's kind of amazing. So can you share what it was like navigating um, a new country, making friends? Did you go to school here? How did that work for you?
So it's so funny because first when I came to this country, I was like, wow, I'm gonna be making a new life for myself. Because as I said, my parents got divorced when I was very young.
Mm.
And it hurts me a lot. Like emotionally, I grew up being a little bit negative and a little bit like not the person that you can see now. But it was a little bit like everything, every solution, I would find a problem. So I was thinking to come into the United States, I can change my life. And I was like, well, I'm going to start from zero because no one knows me there really. I just have my sister. No one knows my story. So I can become whatever I want to do. But guess
Mm.
what?
What happened?
That story came with me too. It traveled. I didn't pack it in my back, but it came with me. So
Mm.
that bitterness, that person that was negative, that person that wasn't happy to be social, it was with me here too. And I was like, how come?
That's so funny that you say that because even though you change your environment, you are who you are deep down in your soul, and that doesn't change. You can tweak it, you can try and make yourself a better person or more well-rounded, but you are who you are. So that's really funny.
Yes.
So take me on your journey. So you're a social person, your problems are still with you, you're in a new country.
So yes, as I said, my dream was to become and finishing my nursing school, but life had different plans for me. Instead of me
Mm.
receiving my diploma to be graduating, I was receiving a letter from immigration because I was being deported because I
Oh
overstayed
no.
my visa. So I was like, wow. So at that moment, I have a conversation with my mom and I said, what should I do? Should I come back to Colombia? And of course, my mom was, you can do whatever you want to do because you know that you have my support.
Mhm.
You can come back to your house. You have your house here. You can continue studying and everything.
Right.
but just take the decision that you want to do yourself. Because my
Mm.
mom was, if you come here and you're not happy, I don't want that you, oh, mommy, you were the one telling me. So I knew that I had my parents' support no matter what. So I was taking like bold moves. So I was,
Mm.
you know what? I'm not gonna take this as a breakdown. I'm gonna take it as a breakthrough. And I start like working 4 different jobs to be paying all the like legal fees. So I was
Wow.
able to stay in this country. And then I was starting to do
An internship.
an
Okay.
internship with a life coach, because I was like, okay, I want to be making a difference for the world too. I don't want to be just being here and not changing myself.
Wow. So you didn't get the nursing degree. You decided to do the internship and you wanted to make a difference for other people, which is just beautiful and amazing. So let's fast forward a little bit and talk about, was there a moment that happened in your life that changed everything for you?
So, yes, actually, when I was 21 years old, I went to my first self development seminar,
Mm.
which I think that that is like Luzk before and after. And it
Mm.
was the Landmark Forum. So in this seminar, they took us to so the seminar is like recreating yourself as a person, like you just decided who you want to be,
Mm.
and just learning they call it like rackets and all the stories that you carry. So they brought us to this moment that obviously I didn't know that I didn't know. So our brain have 3 different sets: things that we know, things that we know that we don't know, but
Mm.
it's the bigger set that is things that we don't know that we don't know.
Mm.
It's like so
Fascinating.
complex that, yeah. So at that moment in this seminar, I figured out why I was the way I was. Like why I wasn't connected with other people, why I was a little bit um like resentment and like I couldn't be that happy. So it was amazing because when I remember this moment in my life, and when I like bring light to it, I change the story because that's not who defined me and who I am.
Right.
I was 4 years old and I was looking at my parents fighting when they were getting divorced.
Oh.
And my father was crying and asking my mom, please let's not get divorced because of the kids. We are 4. So it was like a lot of work.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, I have to ask. So you were 4 years old and you remember your parents fighting, and there were four children in the
Yes.
family. So was there just not getting along, or was there more to that, do you think?
So I didn't remember this before. This was through the seminar that I went. That
Wow.
when we were doing like remember like your first memories. So is
Mm-hmm.
this being that's what is so important to be in an environment when you wanna grow up and you wanna like have a like self development,
Right.
like be involved with people that is gonna take you to those moments. So for me in this seminar, they took me to that moment that I didn't know that I didn't know this. I was like, what? This happened? I didn't
Oh.
even have the memory in my head. So what I see was just they were let's just I think that it was like one of the last fights that they have, and
Mm.
my dad was crying, like pouring crying. And he was saying, you know what, please let's not get divorced. But at the end of the day they did. So the story that I create based on that what I saw was I never gonna cry in front of people and I'm not gonna show my emotions because
Mm.
people will step over me. They don't
Mm.
care. And from 4 years old until I did my first seminar that I was 21, I keep my promise.
Wow. That's incredible that you did that, and that's how what your takeaway was from that. Now, did you still have a relationship with both parents when you were growing up, when you were younger?
Oh yes, I did. I did. Like growing up, as I said, of course, because of that story, I was thinking that my mom wasn't fault,
Right.
that they have to divorce and everything. So it was a challenging, like
Yeah.
being a teenager and everything for my mom. Like now, like I reflect and I see, I can like put all the thoughts like together. I'm like,
Mm.
oh my goodness, mom, I'm sorry so much because I know that she did her best and she worked so hard to help us.
It's incredible because I had a single mom when I was growing up, raising, and just they put everything aside for us, and it's hard to see in that time with the sacrifices that they make are. And it's beautiful that you realize that now. And so let's talk. So you were in your 20s and I think you've lost both your parents at this point, or when? No, no. Tell me your story. Tell me what happens after the seminar.
Okay, so for the seminar, so I continue. So I started, as I said, like internship because I knew that I want to be helping other people. I say, oh my goodness, I found the solution. I found like the how you can change, because I was thinking to changing country, changing my environment will change myself. And no, you have to be healing. You need to be bringing light to those wounds when you were a child. So then I start being like in training myself and everything. And then in 2014, I find out that I was going to be a mom.
Oh.
So actually, it was, yeah, that year it was very emotionally because I was being in the red carpets, because being in the billboards, the Oscars, and all of this. But then I was going to be a mom, and I always dreamed to be a mom, but I wasn't expecting it at the moment.
That's crazy. Wait, back up a second. You're at the billboard, you're on the red carpet. Was this because of your coaching and your life coaching? And talk a little bit about that. That's fascinating.
So when I was doing the internship, I was doing it with Karen Hodges. So she is celebrity coach. So obviously she was going to all of these events and I was working with her. So I was able to be join her and I was like, wow, now I can be doing the same.
Oh my, that's amazing.
Yes.
So, okay, so you find out you're pregnant. Did you have a relationship with the father of the baby or?
Yes, yes. And so as I said, it wasn't what I was expecting because I was like, okay, like I have different plans for myself in that area. And now I realized that, of course, I was like, okay, I'm going to decide just to be a mom. And I just dropped everything else at the moment. I was like, I don't know. I felt like a little disappointed on myself that I didn't accomplish everything that how I wanted. So I was like, okay, I really want to be a mom since I was little. I just gonna give it a chance to be just having a family. So in 2015, I was becoming a mom. So it was the best year of my life. I was being a mom for the first time. I was so happy because my mom was able to come. I haven't seen my mom for years since I was here in this country.
Wow.
So I was super excited. I was like, thank you, God, because you've been so good to me. I have the opportunity to be giving life and have the person to give me life to be with me in the room.
That's beautiful.
So yes, it was very, very emotional, beautiful. At the same time, 3 days later that my daughter was born, the doctors told me that my daughter was born with a murmur in her heart.
Oh no. So that was within 3 days they knew that, huh? That must have been really hard to take at that point. Oh.
So they told me that they need to be doing an open heart surgery to her. But in order to do that, she needs to gain some weight. So she was born 7 pounds and 15 ounces.
Wow.
And she needs to be over 10 pounds in order to be doing the surgery.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think they lose weight to begin with when they're babies. When I had my babies, they were triplets, so they were really tiny. My boys were 4.5 pounds, and my daughter was 3.5 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So we were teeny tiny. And so to lose, and they did lose a little bit, but we had to fatten them up really fast. So I can just imagine trying to fatten up a 7-pound baby. That's 3 pounds is a lot.
So not only that, so obviously the fastest ways to feeding about and gaining that weight is through bottle feeding. Obviously, I always want to be breastfeeding, like all natural, holistic, but she needs to be bottle feeding. So it's so funny in the ways that God works and the miracles that He made, because my daughter didn't like the bottles. And I ordered like 20 different like kinds of bottles, like Dr. Brown, Avino, Avanti, and I even brought one from Australia that they were saying is identical to your breast. So she will make that, like she will know the difference, like if it's yours, it's a bottle. And I was trying everything because she needs to gain weight as soon as possible.
Yes, for the surgery.
And she didn't like it.
She had a strong mind.
Not only her, but God. because then
Yes.
I have to like to be breastfeeding her. And a month later, that my daughter was born, I find out my dad died unexpectedly. Yes,
No.
he was just walking down the stairs and he fell down, and that's it.
Oh, no. So he never got to meet your daughter. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Oh.
Yes, that's one of the hardest things. And it was always in the back of my mind. Like, I cannot believe that my daughter won't have grandparents.
Mm.
Like when I was born, my grandfather died too, like for both sides. So it was like repeating the story. It was like funny, like how they won't have age. Okay, at least she
Yeah.
has the grandmother. My mom is here with me.
Yes, yes.
But like my mom started feeling like she started feeling not well. Like she fell down here too, like playing with my nieces, and she hit her head, and she started forgetting things.
Mm.
And she was here with my stepfather, and they were like, no, it's better that we go back to Colombia and she can see the neurologist to see what's going on because she's not being herself. And my mom was a very active person. Like she will be waking up every morning, 5, 6 in the morning to go walk, do
Wow.
exercise. She was very healthy.
Oh my gosh. So she went back to Colombia and you were alone with your baby, or did you have your sister there to help you navigate
Yes.
that?
So I was here with obviously the father of my kid and my sister.
Mhm.
But then my mom wasn't feeling well, so she went back to Colombia and they have to do a brain surgery
Oh
because
no.
she had a tumor. And the neurologist was like, "Don't worry, it's easy. Like we just have to take it out. It won't be that hard of a surgery."
Mm.
So they did it to my mom, and she was good. But after the surgery, she got a stroke.
Oh,
So they have to induce her in coma. So my sister went back to Colombia to be with her. At the moment, I couldn't travel
right, right,
for my situation, number one, and two, because my daughter needed like medical assistance too. So even
right.
though I thought about it, I was like, you know what, my mom needs me. I need to be there because I think that as a daughter, like you are more like caring for your
Yes.
mother, and it was like it wasn't like my dad that it was unexpectedly, like
Hmm.
suddenly, but
Yeah.
with my mom, like I was like some hope, maybe
Yes,
some.
yes. It's funny you say that because, my mom is going through stuff now too. And as a daughter, you always want to be there and take care of them, just like they've always taken care of us. And I know that feeling, but it sounds to me like your daughter also needed you and you couldn't travel with a baby that had the heart murmur. And plus you were probably recovering from giving birth and all of that at the same time too.
Yes, yes, it was like a year full of like it was a roller coaster. It was like going through so many things. And the cardiologist told me like now you have to remember that you're not only a daughter, but you're a mom.
Yes.
And now your priority is your daughter. So
Mm.
you have to be thinking what you have in front of you. And I know that you want to support your mom and everything, but your daughter needs you more.
Mm.
So obviously I didn't travel,
Right.
and my daughter have her open heart surgery on January,
Okay.
and everything went so good. Like my daughter Julia is such a brave little soul. Like
Oh,
she's amazing. Like she did very good through the surgery.
that's
She
fabulous.
like recovered very fast. Like they were like really surprised how fast she was recovering. Like
Oh,
wow. And I remember like it was yesterday, it was a Monday, and it was January 11th, 2016. And they told us from the hospital, like, you can leave now. Like, she's in perfect condition. Just you have to make appointment with the pediatrician to
it's a
just make,
follow up.
yeah, follow up like
Yes.
always. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm seeing like a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, at least it's a hope and all this mess of things that is happening. But then I received a call from Colombia saying that my mom has passed.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. So, you know, life is crazy like that. You get the good news, about your daughter, and then the devastating news about your mother. I can't even imagine how you were dealing with that being so far away. Can you talk a little bit about what that grief felt like?
So in that moment, because I know I was only recovering for, like with my daughter,
Yeah.
but I always and now I laugh because I see like how God like everything that He does for me, how much He loved me and is carrying me like in different ways. At the moment, I was pregnant with my second daughter too.
No.
Yes. So at that moment, my mom gave her last birth, like her last breath of life to my daughter.
Oh.
And I'm so grateful because I know that life took the two people that gave me birth, that gave me life, but I
Mm,
was able to give life to other people.
that's
So
beautiful.
I see then representation of my daughters.
Mm.
So the grief in that moment was I have to be strong once again, now because my daughter is recovering, but I'm also pregnant.
Wow.
So everyone was, Luzka, please be strong, not only for yourself but for your daughters, because all the emotions that you're going through, you passing them through them.
Right.
And I was just trying to keep it together.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's amazing. I feel you and I feel your in your soul. And I think it's just beautiful that you were able to take the situation at hand and turn it into um, a light, like a symbol from God that this is meant to be. And although you have this tremendous loss going on in your life, you have this beautiful light, two beautiful souls now that you're responsible for. And you probably know that your parents were there in heaven sending you signs and sending you life to help you keep going and do all these decisions. Did you, I guess, as becoming a mom and also grieving, how did that shift your way you thought of your parents, I guess, and has it changed or transformed you into the spark that you now hold to help others? Does that make sense? So, in other words, from losing your parents to giving birth, there was a transition in your life, something that changed. And can you talk a little bit about how that transformation gave you that spark that you now share for coaching other people?
All right. So for me, being a mom and going through the loss, I think that was the best thing that happened to me because
Mm,
if I wasn't a mother at the time that I was losing my parents, I think that I would be in a different place. I
mm,
think that I would be in a dark place
mm.
because it was the range and the guilt that I wasn't able to be with them and everything. But at the
Yes.
same time, as I said before, like God is works in a ways that is so beautiful how he does it. And being able like he knew what's going to happen. And he was like, okay, no, don't worry. You're gonna have your kids here, someone that you're gonna be worried for, someone that you're gonna be caring for, that
Mm.
you can be transferred, all of that passing through them. So for me, that healing was now to my daughter, because for so many years I was a little bit sad that they, as I said before, that they didn't have the grandparents, not only one but
Mm.
both of them.
Yes.
So for me, like for a few years, I was making them like victims, like, oh, they don't have their grandparents, they don't have
Oh,
that love, they don't have that affection. And now I transform it and you know what? It's not that they don't have it in a physical form, but they do it because, as you said, they are here in
yes.
different ways, but they are here, their energy and everything. So now it's like helping other people too, like knowing that if you lost a loved one,
Mm.
it's just the physical body that is not here anymore.
Yes.
But they are here in essence, they are here in presence with you. Like every time that you talk about them, they are alive. Every
Mm.
time that you share about them, every time that you do something that they love to do, you bring them to life.
Yes. Yes. That's so true. I believe that with all my heart and my soul that their spirit lives on and it lives on within all of us and they're still here sending us signs, letting us know if we're on the right path and giving us kind hints when we're on the wrong path. I um
That's
I
true.
I think it's beautiful and I love, I've heard that you use the terminology what was meant to break me built me instead. And I think that that's beautiful that you used your loss to help fuel your fire and become the woman that you are today. But if you could go back to that 4-year-old girl that you were, what would you say to her today, knowing what you know?
So first of all, I will give her so much love. I will like hold her so tight.
Oh.
I will hug her and I will tell her that she is not broken.
Mm.
She's just becoming.
Mm.
And that every challenge that she is going through life, it will be part of the message that she's going to be giving to others.
Mm.
I will tell her that she's an amazing girl, that she's so loved, even
Mm.
when she feels that she's alone and that no one's cared about her.
Mm.
That something bigger, God is always with her.
Mm.
That she's always, always gonna have that love from God. And that just keep going, never give up. That everything is part of a perfect plan. Every situation, every pain, every tear that she will go through is part of the greatness that she's going to be giving to the world, the light that she's going to be bringing to others.
Mm. That's beautiful. I love that. I um I think that you are such a remarkable woman, and I wonder, has being a mother influenced the way you lead and love and live now?
As I said before, 100%. Being a mom is like the greatest gift that I can have. Like being a mom is having that option and knowing that two little people is looking up to you. So for me, giving up is not an option. It's just having that resilience and knowing that I'm not making the difference only for me, only for them, but for the world that is behind us.
Mm.
So being a mom is amazing and just knowing that I have that little princess like looking up to me.
That's so awesome. I mean, it's just lovely that you have that. Now, you're like a role model for your children, but do you have a role model, someone that you look up to?
So as like I've been so blessed to be training with different coaches in the industry to be, as I said before, like looking at wow who I want to be.
Mhm.
So I've been training with the greatest like Karen Ojos, Sifu Carboman, Tony Robbins. But the person that I take more as a role model is myself because
Mm.
it's that fire, that spark inside me that never wants to give up. So as I say, my journey has been like a long journey because I start all about self-development when I was in my 20s. Now I'm in my 30s, almost late 30s. And knowing that I have that spark inside and never give up and always is like having that faith that God
Mm.
has like bigger plans for me and just keep going through adversities and keep shining and like I know that everything is part of a perfect plan. Just keep going, never give up.
You are so inspirational. And, I think back to, how you lost your parents shortly after having your two girls, but I'm sure you passed down tradition to the girls. Do you want to talk a little bit about that and how you bring your own heritage to them?
So yes, as I said before, like not having my parents is just the physical form, but they live with us in a spirit all the time. Like for example, when I go shopping, like grocery shopping and everything, we always grab like some sunflower because that was my mom's favorite flower, and I
Mm.
always tell my daughters, "Oh, this was grandma's favorite flowers," and they always like so happy. So now they love sunflowers. And for example, something that it really marks from my mom when I was a child. So I was born in this little town called Sevilla Valle, and I was growing up in Armenia, which is a little bit of a bigger city. But we
Mm.
will go every other weekend to Sevilla to visit my grandmother and visit family. So I
Mm.
remember my mom every other weekend when we go there, we will go like to the less privileged neighborhood, and she
Okay.
will bring groceries to them.
Oh.
And I don't think that she was making it to like make a difference for us. I think that that was her. Like she was very like noble and generous to other people.
Mm.
And that to me, oh my goodness, that one of my number one like values for me
Oh.
is so important to give to others. So thank God I have the opportunity to go back to Colombia. So I went like a few years ago, and when I went to my daughter was Christmas time,
Mm.
and with my daughters I was like, okay, we're gonna be buying gifts for people that is less fortunate, because in this country we are so fortunate that we can, like, they can have anything they want. They haven't seen the other, I said, the other face of the coin. They
Mm.
think that all the kids have what they have. So we got some toys there, then we pack it up, we wrap it up like in nice, and we went to the same neighborhood that my mom used to brought me.
Mm.
And I opened the trunk of the car that we rent, and all these kids start running to get it, and they were barefoot, and they just
Oh.
like a uh like the streets there is just like dirt and everything, and
Mhm.
and they were so happy when they received this gift and everything.
Oh.
Their face light up. And I want to make that difference for my daughters, knowing that they're making the difference for others, like giving that legacy from grandma, having
Yes.
that like generous heart. And
Yes.
from my dad, what I bring from my dad to them is that every time that you speak to my dad, you have to be looking at his eyes. If
Mhm.
you're not speaking to him, like looking at his eyes, he will say like, okay, if you're not ready to talk to me, let's talk later. So for him, it was that presence. He
Yes.
wants you to be here and now and talk to me. So
Oh.
with my daughters, it's okay, let's talk, but look into my eyes, like let's be present
Mm.
here and now, because it's so much like noise right now, like it's technology, like music. Like before growing up, we didn't have like phones, tablets, TV,
No.
all of that. So it's just having them to be here and now, like when we're talking. So that's like the legacy. And
I love that. I love that he wants you to be present. And so often, we're busy looking at our phones and we're half listening or we're not paying attention. I think that's such a beautiful lesson. And your mom, oh my gosh. I I went on a safari once and our family brought gifts to the young children there. And I mean, the looks on the children receiving were unbelievable. But what filled my own children by being the givers, that they'll hold for their whole lives. So I can totally see what you gave them and the gifts that you give. It's just beautiful, Luzka. Oh my gosh. So I have to ask you, I asked you about what you would tell your younger self. Now, what do you think your future self, maybe 5 or 10 years from now, would thank you for doing today?
well, number one, I see myself like so happy and love, and I will thank my future self, take like what she's taking me. So I will thank her for never give up, for
Mm.
always continue to making a difference.
Mm.
Always like, thank you for never give up. Thank you for going through any challenge you were just going through. Thank you because you believe in yourself. Thank you because
Mm.
even the days that you didn't believe in yourself, you just start up, because it's some days that obviously you don't want to do anything. It's some days that you just feel like you're not making a difference. It's some days that you don't even want to wake up.
Mhm.
And as I say, motherhood changed me everything. So I know that I have to wake up. I had to take my daughters to school, and
Yes.
Sundays I will thank her to just being there, being
Mm.
present, and even when people will tell you, I don't believe in you, you keep believing in yourself. You keep going,
Absolutely.
and when other people say, wow, I believe in you, you have greatness in you, you have light in you. Yes, you trust that person, and you just like continue to making a difference and just
Mm.
sharing and inspiring others to be lighting up with their own light, knowing
Yes.
that everyone has a story to tell, everyone has light within him.
Oh, amen to that. We all have our stories, don't we? And it's incredible the amount of stories of people who have been through so much in life, but yet they have that light that helps them carry on. And for those that haven't found their light yet, they can learn from those who do and who carry on. And it's amazing because none of us are alone. We all share similar stories. Um, so I'm gonna ask you, um, what is if you could talk to your parents today, what would you say to them?
Right now, if I will be talking to my parents, I will say thank you, thank you, thank you,
Mm,
thank you for everything that they gave me. They did the best they could, and they knew
yes.
they did the best they could. So I will thank them for be present with me. I will be thankful the situations that I went through. I will be thankful that they support me no matter what, that they were there for me, that they were really good parents. They were
Mm.
like when my mom never cooked. And when she came here to help me when I was having my first baby, like she was like cooking and doing so many things. She always was like well dressed and everything, and she will never do like house chores.
Mhm.
And she will be like in heels, like I remember like mopping and like I was like, "Mommy, take his care." Yes, but don't want to tell your brother because he won't be happy.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
So thank you because she was there for me when I need her. She
Mm,
was there, and she didn't care that she didn't do what she did. She was like, okay, I'm
mm.
gonna just supporting her.
That's beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna make it a little lighter for right now, and I'm just gonna do like some lighter questions. So I'm gonna ask you, what do you think one word that captures the essence of motherhood for you? Just one word.
One word, it will be grateful.
Mm, that's a beautiful word. Oh my gosh. How about a song that instantly lifts your mood and makes you want to dance or makes you feel empowered? Do you have like a song that you listen to before you go out and speak or do things?
Yeah, so I have different songs. So in English, I have one that is called Unstoppable. I'm
Mm.
unstoppable. I know that. I love that one. And in Spanish, I have some other different words too. Like is this artist that is called Alberto Plaza,
Hmm.
and the song. Oh my goodness, I forgot it right now. Let me.
Ah, don't worry, that's okay. I know that the Unstoppable song is one of the best ones that lifts your spirits. And when you think of the Spanish one, that's fine. Is there one lesson that your kids have taught you that you'd like to share with others?
So something that I have touched from my kids is they are so kind to others too, and
Mm.
they are such a like I'm so surprised how entrepreneurial they are. They
Mm.
are so amazing. So they always like motivate me to be like my better version. So
Mm.
my kids, for example, they do bracelets or inspirational bracelets for other people to
Oh.
remind, like if you're having like a tough time or whatever, you can just look the work and just change your mood.
Mm.
Just knowing um that you can change in an instant. So they can, and then they show me, like for example, if sometimes obviously not like kids are kids.
Mhm.
So anytime that I get upset to them or anything happen, I can be like okay, having a moment with them, and 5 minutes later they are just hugging you and giving you a kiss.
Mm.
Like they just like for them is everything is momentary. Like they don't live in that moment.
That's the beauty of being a kid. I really think it's fascinating how they can change and they can uplift us. It's really nice. So they're still teaching me, my children, and they're in their 20s now, and they're still teaching me. I think it's just
Oh
amazing.
my goodness, yes.
How about a quote or a mantra that you live by? Do you have something that inspires you, or a quote of some sort?
Yes. So one of the quotes that I always tell myself is I do like an affirmation every single morning, like to remind me and then say, I'm an amazing mom
Mm,
and love and I got this.
that's beautiful. Really beautiful. Um, okay, how about a dream destination for soul healing travel? Someplace you've always wanted to go.
So it's a couple of places. So one to be like seeing and like enjoying, it will be Venetia. That's one of the places that I always want to see because for me it's like wow, all the cities in water. I want to really experience that.
Mm,
And for my soul, I really, really want to be going at least 3 weeks a month to India and just
Mm.
be inside, not for the whole month, but yes, yeah, yes, I would love to be like in silence and being just in the present moment and just being um healing and be just more spiritual, like
Mm.
being with gurus and just enjoying your presence.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I love that. I keep threatening my husband that I'm going to go on a silence retreat. They do for like a weekend long, but he thinks I can't do it.
Oh, it's
He's
amazing. Yes, that's we think that, but once we're there, it's so easy because, as I said before, if you are surrounded by people that is lifting you and is believing in you, and they are
Right.
there for the same reason, it's easier. Like, okay, I can do this, and it's
That's so great. That's so funny. And okay, what's the legacy that you hope you leave behind, not just for your kids, but for the world?
so. One of the things that I really want to leave behind is a community that is connected through love,
Mm.
light, and faith. Like knowing that we always have that. And you were saying before about finding that light. It is not
Mhm.
finding it, it's awakening it, because
Mm.
everyone has light within itself,
Yes.
within ourselves. So the legacy that I want to be leaving for others is awaken your light
Mm.
and shine with it,
Wow.
because I know that sometimes some people get, like when you look in like a light right now,
Yes.
you just get a little bit burned or a little bit uncomfortable. But
Mm.
no, if you're coming from a place of love, like you're gonna be helping other people, in just know that to have light you need to grow to darkness, because that's the only way that we make the difference, because everything is on here, we don't know what is like the difference between one another. But if we turn on all the lights here and this is dark and just one light goes on, you can like see the difference.
Mm.
So every dark moment that you go through it is a part of a perfect plan to bring that light that is in you.
I love that. I love the way you say that. It's just so beautiful. Oh, Luzka. So at the end of every interview, I share a poem from my son that passed. He was a poet, and some of his poems are just so beautiful. So this one I picked because it just reminds me of people who are changing. And he was 16 years old when he wrote it. So it's got some bad words in it, but it's okay. It says, still the same. I'm in a new environment, and most days I can't stand the sight of it. Some people are egregious, some people are prestigious, but others are just suck my penis. Not in a good way, but in a bad. Everyone just needs to calm down and look around. All the things being fought about are pointless, makes my life joyless. For the countless times people use their wits and minds to make others commit suicide, to what gain? It makes me go insane that people think it's okay to inflict so much pain. I hear all the time, suck it up. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt you. And that's wrong. But I listened. I believed in that crap that was fed to me at a young age, pushing me further away from the man I was born to be, the person I should be. Even at the age of 15, I know I'll never find the absolute true me, for it's buried under all the lies that I let myself believe. Because of that need for acceptance is so strong, it blinded me, hiding me from the truth that I and everyone else so desperately need to see. Crazy,
Oh,
right?
wow, amazing. It's very beautiful and sad at the same time to be thinking that he never gonna find the person that he was supposed to be, because that's not true. That happened to me when you were reading. Wow, I feel like very connected to the poem, because it was different environments for him, but it was the same. And that
Mm.
happened to me until I took action, until I decided to start healing.
And that's the beauty of it. My son never got to realize, that this was temporary, because that was in his mindset. And I hope that by sharing our stories and by telling people, you know, that yes, there is a rainbow on the other side of the storm. You got to get through that storm. But, it's hard. It's not easy. It never is.
Mm-mm.
But if you can put one foot in front of the other and make your way, it will be worth it.
And another thing that I always tell myself too, when you were asking me about like a phrase, when
Yeah.
I'm going through like challenges
Yeah.
times, is this, well, this shall happen. Like
Yeah.
this is a book that is called New Earth from Eckhart Tolle, and he always say like, this shall pass. This is
Yes.
temporary. This
Yeah.
is not forever.
Mm.
Like I remember when, so a few years ago, like I was living in Norwal, and it was this heavy rain, and it got my house like flooded.
Oh.
And it was like, all of this is temporary because this will happen, like this shall pass too. So
Mm.
if you're going through tough time, if you're going through something that you don't see, like she was saying, like a rainbow at the end of the storm, or seeing that light at the end of the tunnel,
Mm.
believe me, it is light at the end of the tunnel. It is rainbow after the storm. So just keep going, never give up on yourself, because you have light within you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Luzka, you are such a beautiful light. I'm so happy that you were able to join us today. You're inspiring, and I'm grateful we were able to share your story with our listeners. And if you like our podcast, it would mean the world to me if you would rate us, subscribe to us. Donations and advertisers are always welcome. And remember, SOS, Stories of Survivors, where survival sparks the soul. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome.